I'd like to introduce to you tonight our students that are in our award-winning, internationally recognized culinary arts program. And I'd like you to, with your applause, thank them for the fine dinner that they've prepared and served this evening. Thank you so much. Now, we've learned that this is a great place to eat, isn't it? Great place to eat. It is my distinct pleasure at this time to introduce our president, Dr. Stephen Endard, to provide a welcome.
Thank you, Tina, and good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you tonight? Pleased to hear that. That food, I know, is starting to settle, but we need to get our energy level back up just a bit. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's festivities as we honor what we call the kind of the cream of the crop here, the Delta Pi Alpha students. And I'm welcoming you tonight on behalf of myself and my wife Karen and 4 of our trustees that we have with us this evening, and I'd like them to stand as I recognize them. First, previously you've met Margot, our chairperson, Margot Anderson. Margot. We have a founding board member with us tonight, 20 years of service, 21 years of service, Miss Ellen James. Another founding board member with us tonight. This is incredible service, folks. These folks have been with us for many, many, many years. Miss Terry Hanlon. Terry. And then in his second 6-year term, Mr. Rick Berberg. Rick. I will share with you that this is the hardest working group of trustees that I've had the honor to be affiliated with. And I think what I love about them the most is how much they love what we're doing here tonight. These trustees never miss activities that honor and support and recognize our students, and I'm certainly grateful for that. I'd like to recognize a couple of other groups of people that I think are pretty significant in the room before I'll offer some remarks. First, I know that our honorees were asked to invite, if they would like, a significant other that is either on our faculty or staff that has been part of their educational experience. And this is not something that just occurs in the classroom. And it's because of the people that were brought here tonight that I believe the growth and development of many of these students occurred. So faculty and staff who were invited by a student, please stand so we can recognize you. All the research out there tells us that students perform best when they're supported by a mentor at the college that they attend, and those folks with us tonight go way beyond the call of duty in that regard. There's another group of people here tonight that I am pretty sure most of the students would not be here without them. So I would like all of those parents and grandparents and wives and husbands and girlfriends, all that huge support network to this group of students to stand so we can recognize you. Where are you? You're the people that dried all the tears, you know, that cajoled and said, get up, you're going again today, even if you don't want to. We appreciate the support that you've shown to our students. Let me speak a moment to the 85 students that are on our list tonight, 40 of which are represented in the room. we're going to graduate. Tina and I were trying to figure out that number today. It's going to be somewhere between 18 and 2,100 students that will be awarded a credential from this institution either this next 2 weeks, which I can't believe we're graduating in 2 weeks, or this summer. And to become a member of this honor society, you fall within the top 5% of those students that were graduating. 85 students out of that large number of 18 to 2,100. So clearly, you are distinguishing yourself as being very special in your academic pursuits, and that says a lot about who you are as a person. I will tell you that it's just started, and that's a good thing. And what you carry with you is this confidence of what you've already done. And when you stumble into that next hurdle on your academic path or your career path, the confidence of knowing what you've already accomplished will help you get through that next hurdle that you are moving through. And that's how we kind of mature and evolve as people. So you have all that in your reservoir, if you will, all this inner strength that you can take with you now in your next phase of your life. You have another responsibility. You're a Grand Rapids Community College graduate, and we're very proud of you. And we know that you will represent us in a way that the pride and distinguishedness of this institution will continue to perpetuate yourself. So you carry with you our expectation of being a person of esteem, a person of accomplishment, and a person that will make a difference in this world. And that is your responsibility back to us. Be a person that will make a difference in this world. And finally, when you reach that point when a nice paycheck is coming in, remember where you got started, if you will. I met parents and grandparents of students in the room tonight who are graduates of this fine institution. Remember where you got started. And I say that a bit in jest, but not really, because there's so many students of the 18,000 credit students that we work with that as little as $100 can mean a huge difference in their ability to buy a textbook or to finish paying off their tuition. It's amazing how little bit of money goes such a long way for our students. And look, I'm not expecting the contribution you're going to give to the University of Michigan or Michigan State. I'm just thinking or asking, don't forget where you started this fine journey. And think about students just like you that might need a little assistance. So when we reach out to you, do not throw it in the trash can. It's an honor for me to honor you tonight. You have done very, very well. It's a foundation of where you're going. I know that you will represent us well, and I also know that you will make a difference. Thank you.
Well, that moment we've been waiting for, and it's that recognition of this special honor. I have queued a couple people that are going to start this evening. If they would go ahead and move to this side of the room, a couple people that I had talked with earlier, and some other individuals are going to get into place, and then we're going to start with the awarding of the medallions and this honor tonight. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lori Chesley, who will give us a little more direction and be announcing names this evening. Dr. Chesley?
Thank you, Tina. Good evening, everyone. I have the privilege this evening of announcing the new Delta Pi Alpha recipients. President Ender will confer the Delta Pi Alpha honor by presenting each new recipient with a gold medallion. Dean Hoxie will cue students by table to move into position for recognition. And we ask that you come to this end of the room when you're signaled to do so. It also has been a tradition to offer you an opportunity to say a few words about your experience at Grand Rapids Community College and to introduce the guests you have invited here this evening to celebrate your outstanding academic achievement. We hope that you'll take advantage of that opportunity. So let's begin. Amy Ash.
Hi, I'm Amy Ash. I'm a radiographic technologist student who's graduating in a couple of weeks. And my plan is to go out into the workforce with my degree and get hopefully a good paycheck that he was talking about back there. I brought with me tonight one of my professors, Amanda Brand, and also my husband, Scott. And I just want to thank everybody who's supported me. I have great teachers and great family support, and I thank them very much.
Robert Bennett.
I wasn't aware that I'd be speaking tonight until a while ago, but as one of my pillars once said, Nikki Banks, she said, "This is college, people. It's time to step up." I am a juvenile services major. I'll be graduating in a couple of weeks. My wife will be very glad because then I can start pulling my weight again. I did bring my two pillars tonight, my wife Amy and Professor Banks. Honestly, without whom I wouldn't be here tonight, either one of them. Thank you very much.
Diana Berlanga.
Hi, I'm Diana, and I'm going to go to GRCC in the fall, and I'm going to be a teacher. I would like to thank my parents, GRCC, all the professors. Thank you so much.
Gabrielle Bile.
Well, I too was not aware I was going to speak tonight, but I am graduating with my associate's degree this spring, and I'm transferring to Grand Valley, going into English. I'm going to be a writing minor, and I'm going to go into publishing. And I brought my mom tonight. She's helped influence me in my career.
Al Carey.
Wow, this is not what I had envisioned as speaking in front of a group like this. But I'd like to thank my wife Laura and one of the instructors that I had a bunch of classes with Bob Van Eyck, for sharing his knowledge that you just can't get anywhere else. And I enjoyed my 2 years.
Nicholas Cadorette.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'll be graduating with a degree in architectural technology, and I'm going to transfer on to Ferris here in Grand Rapids, receive my bachelor's in construction management. I want to thank GRCC for the experience, and thank you all for coming.
Serena Cox.
He doesn't have to say anything. No.
You don't have to.
No,
You don't have to, but you're welcome to if you'd like.
I'm graduating from GRCC with my associates in science, and I brought one of my favorite professors with me today, Tim Hoving, who has been one of my mentors here. And I'm now at Grand Valley, and I'm pursuing a degree in health professions.
Brendan Edwards.
I will be graduating with my computer science associate this spring, and then I will transfer to Davenport to continue computer science studies. I would like to thank my two parents, which are here with me tonight. They have been my rocks throughout this college experience and have helped keep me going.
Kristen Essenberg.
Hi, my name's Kristen. I will be eventually graduating from Grand Valley with a master's in speech pathology, eventually. I brought my mom here with me tonight. Both my parents have helped me a lot in these past 2 years, and they're going to have to help me a whole heck of a lot more. So thanks for all thank you for coming.
Tiffany Falcon Avaglaben.
I'm graduating this semester with my associates, and I'm transferring to Ferris for public relations. I brought my son, Loki, and my husband, Jameson, with me. I think my son's under the table right now, actually. It's got a DVD player. I have to thank my husband for being so incredibly patient and tolerant with me through my time here, because I'm always here. I work here, I go to school here. I also brought Dr. Mindy Ferlin. She's the Director of Academic Service Learning, where I work as a student employee. She has been such a mentor to me and really helped me make a decision to stay in college and get my degree. And there's a lot of administration and faculty members I see here that I've shared with before how transformative this experience has really been for me. So I want to thank everybody here at GRCC for that. Thank you.
Bree Gannon.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I'm graduating my Associates in Arts, and I'm planning on studying English. I brought with me tonight my teacher, Miss Kelly Roblin, and she's also my supervisor in the Language Arts Lab. She's one of many professors and teachers that have been super supportive and just inspiring to me. And she's also just given me some amazing opportunities here to learn and grow. I also want to thank my husband and children, even though they're not here. They're off at soccer practice and doing kid things. So, but they've been very patient and supportive of, likewise, I've also lived half my life here too, so thank you.
Lauren Geldersma.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm graduating this summer from CC with my associates. And I have to say that my time here has been really great. I've had great teachers, great support, and I brought with me tonight my two loving parents, my mom and dad, and I'd like to thank them so much for just supporting me, giving me all the love and support that I need, and for just always believing in me. I'd like to thank you all for being here.
Hannah Gilliam.
I'm trying so hard not to cry because I have been here for the last few years, obtaining my associate's degree and, of course, transferring over, and GRCC has been a major family component to me. I know quite a few faculty members here. I work here, and I brought Miss Rosario Sutton, who has literally stood by my side, if not physically, mentally, to push me along. And I just want to thank you guys personally for continuing to encourage me on a regular basis when you see me in the hallways, and thank you so much from my heart. Thank you.
Terry D. Groosness.
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm going to be graduating with my associates in accounting, and I'd like to thank the faculty and staff here at GRCC. They've been wonderful, and I've enjoyed the diversity of the whole GRCC experience. Thank you. Oh, forgot. I have my husband George, my brother Ed, my niece Amanda, my sister-in-law Nancy, and her mother Jackie with me today.
Stephanie Hall.
I'm graduating from the Radiology Technology program, and I wouldn't be here without the support and encouragement from my mom and dad and my husband. And I'd also like to thank my teachers, Deb, Amanda, and Jeff, for all the time that they've put in.
Jamie Knapp.
My name is Jamie Knapp, and I'll be transferring to Grand Valley for nursing. I invited my stepfather, Larry, my mother, Kathy, my daughter, Lane, and my faculty member I invited was my academic advisor, Marco Trimble. He's been with me since the day I signed up and helped me and listened to me cry and been very supportive, as all of my teachers have been here. It's been a good experience. Thank you.
Kylie Lynn.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kylie Lynn. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who came here to celebrate this event with us. I'm really nervous, as you can tell. It won't be the same without your presence, and I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight. I brought my mom, and my dad, my grandpa, and grandma and tonight. Thanks for coming, y'all. A few more words. From there to walk here took me about 30 seconds, but I can tell you it took me a lot more than 30 seconds standing here talking to you all tonight. It took me about 5 good semesters of hard work and studying to be here tonight. And I didn't do all this all by myself. The professors that I have taught me the knowledge that I own by today. The parents and my friends gave me the support all the way through here. I'd like to thank them, especially with all the faculty I have. They helped me. My counselor, Jenny, that helped me, gave me the right guidance to be here tonight. And I'd like to thank you all. Thank you.
Joshua Loomis.
Good evening. I'm Josh Loomis, and I'm transferring to Michigan State to study kinesiology for 2 or maybe 4 or 6 more years. I'll see when I get there. And I'd just like to thank GRCC for really making my second go-around college much better than my first time around. And it's great staff here, and everybody's awesome. And with me tonight, I have my girlfriend, Emily, who really helped me through my last semester, because last semesters are just tough wherever you are in life, I guess. So thanks again.
Cynthia Malloy.
He said, all I have to do is say thank you.
Marcus Manders.
Good evening. Thank you for being here tonight. It's an honor not only to work for Grand Rapids Community College, but also to graduate here. I'll be pursuing my bachelor's in business administration here at Ferris, just down the hall, and also with the HR certificate, specializing in that. Thank you for all of your support, and especially from my loved ones, friends and family, and my boss, who is also a faculty member here, Mr. Patrick Coleman. Thank you again. It's such an honor.
Julia Marie Medina.
Hello, I am going to be graduating from here in a couple weeks with my associate's degree in psychology. And I'll be transferring to GVSU to get a minor in psychology and major in special education. I brought my mom and my boyfriend with me, and I just want to thank them for helping me through many cheerful nights. So, thank you.
Now I'd like to invite my colleague, Fiona Hert, the Dean of the School of Workforce Development, to continue with our recognition.
Thank you, Lori. Let me continue. It's my pleasure. Ryan Meyer.
Hello. Isn't this the kind of peer pressure we're warned all through high school, avoid giving in to peer pressure. But when you get up here, after everyone else has done it, you kind of have to do it. So I would like to thank Professor Forrest, who's conveniently right over there, and my mom who came with me tonight. And I'd like to thank all the staff and support that I've had here at GRCC. Thank you.
Andrew Monroe.
Good evening, my name is Andrew. I'm very honored to be here. I am graduating with a degree in the arts, and I'm currently attending Grand Valley for a degree in business operations management. First of all, I'd like to thank my parents who I brought here tonight. Without them, I would not be here, and I know that for a fact. Absolutely. And I'd also like to thank all my professors and all the staff for GRCC. They really care about the students, and they're knowledgeable about what they do, and it has really been a positive experience for me, and I just can't explain how grateful I am.
Janet Morans.
Hi, my name's Janet. After many, many years of being out of school, I stepped back into Grand Rapids Community College. It was actually 2 days after 9/11, and that was a long time ago. It's been a long road. worth every second of it. I will be graduating in multimedia communication technologies this summer, and it's funny because I changed majors somewhere back about 6 years ago when I found out that I was going to have to take Intro to Public Speaking. So, but I'm really happy with what I decided to go with. I'd like to thank my friends who are here with me tonight and my wonderful Professor Pat Higgins, who was very encouraging to me with the two classes that I took that were very difficult. She helped me through them and really encouraged me throughout it all. So thank you very much.
Jason Meyers.
Good evening. I will be using my transfer degree that I earned here to transfer to the accountancy program at Western Michigan. And my experience here has been great, especially as a working adult. It's just been phenomenal how easy it was to schedule my classes and all the support that I got here. And I just want to thank everybody and have a great evening.
Kara Meyers.
Hi. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, not just for me, but for everybody who invited you. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, my mom's boyfriend, and my boyfriend. And I'd like to thank my favorite professor, Mr. David Friday, at this table, the professor in mathematics. And I've also had the privilege to be a math tutor here, which I've enjoyed very much. And I'll be transferring over to Grand Valley this fall. I hope to pursue a degree in science and math somehow. I'm not sure exactly what. I'm thinking maybe the medical field, but I don't know yet. I'll see what happens. Thank you.
Tui Nguyen.
Hi, my name is Thuy Nguyen. Well, I guess in this group, I'm the only Vietnamese in tonight. I would like to thank Ms. Ann Palaski. She's my greatest instructor, and she very patient. Well, thank you.
Congratulations. Very nice.
Janice Darland Overway.
I'll be graduating with an Associate's in Applied Arts and Sciences in the Radiation Technology program. And anyone in that field, I would like you to consider this my official application for employment. But really, Jeff, thank you for coming. He's my physics and protection teacher. Amanda and Deb, thank you. And my husband, Rick, supported me through this 2 years. Thank you.
Ginger Partridge.
I began my journey back to school 5 years ago. My husband tried to get me to do it many, many years ago. We raised 2 wonderful children. Our daughter is graduating Ferris this year after having taken classes at CC and transferring. Our son and his fiancée are both enrolled at CC now. We do all know the value of an education. I'm privileged enough to have a job in the field that I love, HR. but I do know that the education is taking me further within that role, and I'm just so appreciative of all the instructors that I've had along the way. I had a lot of online classes, but many instructors, they do such a wonderful job, and sometimes it's so thankless. I'm glad to be able to celebrate with them tonight. I brought with me Marlene Coors from the English department. I saw her not only influence me in the way I looked at things, but the interactions that she had with the entire class really touched me, both young and those of us 40-something. Thank you all.
Amanda Pozon.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Right now the plan is to major in psychology after I transfer to U of M in the fall. Of course, I want to thank my family, my parents for all their support. I have my grandmother here as well, and then I have my aunt who also received their award, and my uncle. Family is very important with the support in school, and I just want to thank them, and of course all the staff here.
Dan Schmitz.
Hi, I'm graduating with a degree in heating and air conditioning technology. I'd like to thank my wife for being here tonight, and I brought along Don Stevie, and also Bob Van Eck is here. Both of those guys do a great job in the heating and air conditioning curriculum. And another instructor I had, Gideon, over here. It's been a great experience going to school here, and I just accepted a job offer.
Jesse Skoke.
Hello, it's nice to see everybody here tonight. I just finished my degree this past fall semester. I am currently going to Grand Valley studying biomedical science, and I hope to continue going on to medical school after that. Going to GRCC was a wonderful experience. It was a great start to my academic career. I'd like to thank all the professors who helped me on this journey. They were all fantastic. I'd also like to thank my parents who are here with me tonight, and especially my mother who instilled the love of learning in me. And I'd just like to thank everybody for being here.
Nick Tapp.
Hi, I just wanted to thank my family, some of whom are here tonight, and my fiance Sarah for supporting me and encouraging me throughout my whole time here. And I just wanted to thank all of you for supporting us, all of us who made it here tonight, for our hard work and our efforts. So thank you.
Michael Tiesma.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm going to be receiving my associates from GRCC in the summer. I just wanted to say that my 2 years down here have been incredible. I've had a lot of great professors. Mr. Abed here was my econ teacher, and he was great. I brought my mom and dad tonight, and I just wanted to thank them for all the love and support that they have shown me. So thank you.
Delano Vandergeld.
Hello, my name is Delano. I'm a political science major transferring out. My dreams are law school, so I've got many stages ahead of this. I want to thank my parents. This is also an emotional time for me. My children and I have experienced a loss. I lost my wife a couple years ago. Part of the reason why I came back, I also was in finance. I was in the mortgage market, and of course we know what happened there. So I went through some very difficult times, to say the least. Decided to make a change. And so my parents have been an unbelievable help to me. My 3 children, I mean, I have a daughter who's 4, a son who's 12, my oldest daughter's 14. And so homework for me, to say the least, is not quite just homework. So this has been a long journey for me, even though it's been a short period of time. I feel like, you know, I've been here only about a year and a half, and here I am graduating already. But I'm going to need their support, so I appreciate it, guys. I really do. And I appreciate the staff here. Those who have overseen the political science and the economic departments have done a wonderful job. I may end up in econ too, it sounds like. So, but I'm just going to keep shooting for the stars, and I hope everybody else does too, and it sounds like we have a lot of students that are doing the same, so congratulations to all of them as well. Thank you to everybody. Thanks.
Vanderlaan.
Hi, I'm Katie. I will be graduating with my Associates in Science from GRCC, and I will be studying nursing at Davenport University. I'm maybe going on for a master's after that. We'll see how much motivation I have left. I want to thank everyone at GRCC here. The biology department has been great. I've had a lot of great professors. And I also want to thank my parents for sticking with me and believing in me even when I didn't so much. So thanks, everybody.
Mark Vanderstieg.
I think it was about 2nd or 3rd grade when I found out that if your name ends in or starts in a character that is at the end of the alphabet, that you're always last. You know, you got to sit in the back of the class, and it's still happening to me. I'm 52 years old. It's still happening to me. Everybody's been so helpful here. I mean, I look at faces and I think, and everybody like, Amy, thank you. I mean, just little things. Every time I ask for help from somebody, I came with Professor Gideon Carlson here, and Karlstrom and his wife, Dawn. My wife, Deb, is here. And I think what's my professor emphasizes that, first of all, learning can be fun. Second of all, it's a lifelong thing. And it was neat to have professors that, especially Gideon here, that are excited about teaching as I am about learning. So that, you know, that facilitated. I started this program, I signed up in 1987. Took one class, got the heebie-jeebs, but finally came back 22 years later. So anyway, a little more dedication than I had back then, a little more focus. So I appreciate it.
Amanda Visser.
Hello, my name is Amanda. I'm a recording tech major, so I could tell you things about this mic that you don't even want to know. I've had an awesome time at GRCC. I've met a lot of great people in the music building. It's probably the loudest building on campus. Everyone knows each other, and they're not afraid to show it. So everywhere else is really quiet. It's kind of scary. But this is pretty awesome. This is really cool. I'm very appreciative. The professors have been great. I brought my voice professor. I swore I wasn't going to cry. She's helped me so much. My parents have been great. Obviously, tearful nights were definitely part of my college experience. So my parents have helped a lot with that. So it's been awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here.
Chris Wellesley.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Wesley, and I just wanted to say I'm a student graduating from the Culinary Arts program. So kind of a long road. It's almost bittersweet, you know, because it felt like it went fast, but then also slow at the same time. But it was, I think, really with the faculty, some really great chef instructors that really made it worthwhile. And I went to Aquinas College for a 4-year degree prior to this, so I kind of had my way around schools a lot, and so I got to see some different types of talent. And I'll tell you that the talent here is remarkable. So I'm really appreciative of that, as well as those who are on the board as well. I just had a chance to meet one personally. Terry is at our table, and you know, it's a great thing to have you guys on board here to kind of help direct the school where it's going. And again, you know, it was a great road, and I'm really excited to kind of get going. So out of this, I feel like I've learned a lot of the skills I need in the kitchen. So I've started actually my company called the Personal Chef Group. I have a partner in it. We unleashed the company at the beginning of this year, and we're already rocking and rolling with some business. So very exciting. With me, I brought you know, 2 of my pillars. My mom, of course, who brought me into the world and also taught me the value of an education, the value of also just being in humanity, you know. And then, of course, my wife, who's decided to share her life with me. Can you believe that? Yeah, so she's hasn't left me yet, so I think that's a good sign, you know, because we went through a lot through this program. So, again, I appreciate everyone who's here, and those 2 are supporting me here as well. Thanks a lot.
At this time, I would like to ask all the Delta Pi Alpha recipients to please stand. This completes the list of Delta Pi Alpha honor recipients attending this evening for Grand Rapids Community College. I appreciate you, each and every one of you, and as Delano had said, you are shooting stars and certainly reaching for the stars. So my congratulations to you. Please join us in another round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Let me introduce Dr. Rick Olson, who is our Associate Provost for Academic Transitions. Dr. Olson will be awarding plaques to the 4.0 honor students.
Well, congratulations to all our new Delta Pi Alpha inductees. We have 5 of the 6 students who have received a perfect 4.0 with us this evening. This is truly an outstanding accomplishment. We will present these students with a plaque recognizing this 4.0 accomplishment at Grand Rapids Community College. As your name is read, please come forward. But I'd like to start tonight with the name of the individual who couldn't join us tonight. So how about a round of applause for Deanna Berger, please. Robert Bennett. Cynthia Malloy. Andrew Monroe. Kara Meyers. Christopher Wesley. Let's have a round of applause for these 5 people, please. I now welcome back to the podium Dr. Stephen Ender to present the Arthur Andrews Award.
Well, what an evening. This Gold Cup symbolizes the Arthur Andrews Award for Excellence in Scholarship and honors for each new Delta Pi Alpha member. Permanent possession is given to the new Delta Pi Alpha member who has earned the highest grade point average. The Arthur Andrews Cup also honors the memory of Arthur Andrews, who served Grand Rapids Junior College as its president for 35 critical years, from 1919 to 1955. President Andrews was dedicated to the preservation, growth, and academic integrity of Grand Rapids Junior College. He often made the point that, and I quote, "We must give our students an education here as good as or better than they would receive at the university." The records of Grand Rapids Junior College and community college students who have gone on to further studies certainly show that his colleagues and successors still espouse this lofty goal. So this evening, we honor the memory of one of our outstanding leaders and the achievements of the outstanding students assembled here tonight. The present graduating class, whose top students we honor, 6 who have earned perfect 4.0 cumulative grade point averages. Since, as the slogan says, you can't do better than all A's, we have to find a way of distinguishing the student who will be given permanent possession of this Gold Cup from his or her equally accomplished peers. We do this by choosing the student from among the 6 who has earned, in addition to a perfect 4.0 average, the greatest number of honor grade points, signifying the most credits earned. It gives me great pleasure now to announce the recipient of the 2011 Arthur Andrews Cup, Andrew Monroe. Andrew, will you please come forward to receive this award?
Thank you, everybody, so much. Coming here tonight, I did not know that I was getting this award, so I was pretty surprised when my mom was like, "Hey, look at this." I am truly grateful. This just shows that hard work and dedication and a lot of studying does pay off in the end. And I currently attend Grand Valley, and I'll tell you what, I miss GRCC. I miss the teachers and the dedication, and you know, don't get me wrong, Grand Valley's a great school, but it's just not the same. And I'm truly grateful to be here tonight and to receive this award. Thank you.
Now that was the truly living part, wasn't it? Absolutely. You know, and I'm thinking too that those of you that thought you had skipped speech, you're probably thinking you should maybe get a credit at this point. And you're probably thinking you don't want Dr. Ender to be your professor, right? Because he's not going to let anyone off on that. So, but certainly this has been a wonderful reflection of what you've accomplished here at the college, as well as what your next steps are going to be as a result of your learning here. So we're very proud of you. You know, this was the easy part. You might not be thinking that when you had to, but you all did just a fantastic job. And we had an opportunity to record this evening. So we'll be sending each of you a link to tonight's program, and you can have an opportunity to share that with other members of your family and other supporters. So we'll be sending that to you as well. So walking across the stage is going to seem pretty easy, isn't it? And we hope that you all are planning to do that with us and take this next celebration, which is in 2 short weeks. I want to mention just one housekeeping item. If you need a parking pass that Kathy, who you all have had a chance to talk to and has done a fantastic job out of my office in putting tonight's program together. Thank you, Kathy. You'll see her out in the hallway, and she'll be happy to give you a parking pass. Now, this next quote is not my quote. and it's from that book, Live and Learn. It's by somebody that happens to be 67 years old, and it goes like this. I've learned that education, experience, and memories are 3 things that no one can take away from you. We heard that tonight, didn't we? I want to add one other thing. No one can take away your associate's degree from GRCC. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We've enjoyed the evening. Good night.